were apart, how did you balance, your autonomy and still maintain that relationship with him? What like strategies did you use, or how did you make sure, okay, this is how I'm working on me, but also balancing, hey, I still have to foster this relationship?
Honestly, I don't think I actively took control of that until later on. So after I graduated from college, I think is when I actually actively started to be aware of those things. Strategies.
For example, were there ever times where you're like, oh, I need to make sure to touch base, or, were you going through that time is completely like checked out away from that, and you wanted to focus on you, or what was going on in order to keep you on some sort of schedule of saying, hey, I need to touch base, I need to, call?
Nothing quite so formalized as that. Because at the time we were just we'd text, we'd see each other at home, or when we separated ways, we'd still just constantly be in contact, either Facebook, or we still had a lot of similar circles. And it all kind of just happened naturally and without awareness. Also it helped that once we moved out of home for quite a while, we were both pretty self-centered. So we were just trying to deal with our own shit, and the rest just happened, That being said, some of the strategies from then carried on now, without thinking, I will say that I set this up and my brother will argue with me. But whenever we're walking somewhere, we'll just call each other up and be like, hey, I'm walking to the shops and I'm bored, what's going on? Every now and then, I'll be like, I haven't spoken to you in a week, what's going on? What about this random thing that you mentioned 5 minutes ago? That's something I remembered. That's kind of our way of checking in. And we are still learning. Our birthday trip was a blessing and a curse.
I followed that. I was like, wow, this is so amazing.
Yeah, it was a blessing and a curse. So I was out of Sydney for about 20 days. So that was traveling with my brother. We were overseas for about 15, and the rest of the time was on planes. I lived overseas for about 3 years, and he's never lived overseas. So we discovered some very different ways of relating to what we were doing, and very different values when we were traveling. And I found it exhausting and terrible, but also incredible, and learned the value of being able to say, today I need to do me. We are traveling together, but today I need to go off and do what I want to do without you. And we did not manage that well on that particular trip. So, we are still learning, because we only see each other once a year, and we always joke that whenever we see each other, there's always going to be one humongous fight, and then everything's fine. And luckily, that wasn't the case on our holiday. We just bickered a lot. Mostly I just got fed up with the fact that he's a smoker and I'm not. And I didn't realize that would piss me off so much. constantly denied if we stopped for a cigarette. I'm like, yes, I do. Even though we're not going anywhere, it's still a cigarette. So, space is really good for us. It helps keep our relationship healthy for us to exist in our own space. If we exist in the same space, I think we still need to be a bit more proactive about making sure we have ownership over our own time and making sure that we have our own separate things to do. Just because whilst a lot of our core principles are very similar, our day-to-day things are different. Are you drinking wine? Man, I wish I was drinking wine. It's too early.
Yes, your time it is, but here, this is the time. This is the time that, well, not necessarily. You can drink wine whenever, but this is the time where, like teachers especially, coast in from a day with 16-year-olds, and we have wine.
Yeah. Do you mind if I pause 1 second? I'm going to quickly dash to the bathroom.
Not at all.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'm going to grab my phone charger really quick, so.
Okay, thank you for that.
No worries.
I've had like five cups of tea over the course of this conversation.
So, the one thing you mentioned is and you mentioned it several times. I think it's very an important word, which is space. And when you think about the space, both the benefits and the challenges for twins, you know, in that first moment when you take a break from your twinship and you have that space, and there are both benefits and challenges, what do you feel are the awareness or insights that you gained from said space? Well, and specifically, you know, in thinking about both the benefits and the challenges that come with that, what at the same time awareness or insights are gained?
Well, I think one of the challenges of making sure you have space is reconciling your habits in relation to each other, and confronting those. So something as simple as how often we talk to each other, for example. There's the reassessment of, is this a help or a hindrance? And just acknowledging, you know, sometimes you want to go a little while without talking to your brother. And that's okay. I'd say that's sometimes, or has been a challenge in the past. These days we've got a good system for it. One of the challenges is also generating an awareness as to who may or may not seem to need the other one more. You know, for a while I went through this time where I was like, I'm always calling my brother. Why is he never calling me? Am I more needy than he is? Maybe. But then, you know, I also realized my schedule is basically freelance and his was basically full time. So it's structured. So I was like, I just literally have a